if parents were allowed to send their children to any school that they chose. I mean, let's face it, the average American now pays more than $10,000 per student to educate our kids. They haven't got smarter. They've lowered the test scores through the years. There's a dumbing down of America right now. And public education, when you give a teacher tenure, and I know we've got some great teachers that are out there, but we've got some that are not so great. But yet when they have tenure, they're basically fireproof. I've never worked a job where if I performed poorly, then I kept the job. And that's what we got. And you see now that the government has taken over education, it's become an indoctrination program or whatever the government's program or agenda is. And one of the simple ways to change it is demand of our congressmen and our legislatures, let's have a voucher system. You allow us to send our kids to whatever school that we...
The school of our choice.
That's right. And school choice, it would stop it because competition produces proper results. It will make somebody tighten up or somebody's going to be out of a job.
And they say that will cause segregation. They say that'll cause discrimination. I don't think so. I think everybody wants their child to get the best education that's available to them. And if it means going cross town to a private school, or if it means going to a different school that's a different public school in the area, your choice, why not?
Well, there's no way that you could say that it's segregation if everyone is allowed to do it, because then it's across the board. It's fair for all.
Why won't the government allow us to do this?
Because the government is controlling the agenda, and the agenda right now is more about indoctrination than educating our students. Statistics say that approximately 150 years ago that 90% of America were literate. Today, the statistics say that about 50% of America are literate. It has been one of the greatest failures has ever been when public education was taken out of the public sector. And we know that it happened because all you have to do is look, and how many parents have a say about what's being taught to their children in their school?
Whenever the government you think about it, the war on drugs, who's winning? The war on poverty, who's winning? The war on education, we're losing.
Yeah. God never intended for government to run our lives, and that is where we have gotten to the place. And the problem is, if you have ungodly leadership, then what is going to be produced? There's nothing that, when I plant a corn seed, I expect a corn stalk to come up there, and that's all that's going to come up where a corn seed's planted. And if you have wicked and ungodly leadership that is in control, that is going to be the fruit that is going to be produced by the seed that's planted.
So you need to look at your leaders, you need to look at the people that are running for office, you need to urge good people to run.
Absolutely.
Good people are afraid to run now because no matter... Everybody's got a skeleton in their past. I don't care if you're the greatest guy in the world or what, and everybody's afraid of that glass wall.
Well, we're all flawed vessels. I've got skeletons in my closet. I've got things that I wished I'd have never done, but that's my past. And the great thing about Christ, He doesn't bring up your past. The bad thing about those that are your enemies,
they do.
That's what they dig for. And you're right. But, even with some of the things that I say here are very controversial in the book, but they're the truth. And the thing about the truth, the Bible said that if you know the truth will set you free. And we've got to have some people that will be willing to take the heat and tell the truth no matter what. And if you'll tell the truth, it will begin to affect people's lives. And so I'm just, I pray to God that there are pastors, I pray that there are church members out there, there are people that are listening that saying, you know what? I'm going to be a truth teller. I am going to make my life count for Jesus Christ, and I'm going to affect this world in which I live. That's why God put us here, to make sure that when we left this world, it was a little bit better than when we got here.
Now, if people want to get in touch with you, we've seen a phone number up on the screen. Would you give this to us one more time?
Yes, is our church phone number. It is 919-496-7476. That's highest praise.
And let's repeat it one more time. It's on the screen.
496-7476.
And you're in Louisburg, which is, about a 35-minute ride?
That's correct. I'm about a 35-minute drive from here. But, we also do speaking engagements. We love to go out and to share and to promote this and be glad to, come where an invitation is to.
So any church or civic organization that would like to invite Pastor Jones just give them a call at that number. And I guess that at the website, too, they
That's
contact you.
Yes, sir.
And that's the highestpraiseonline.org. highestpraiseonline.org. You could reach Pastor Jones. You know, this is tremendous. Now, I know you also on the radio. Tell me a little bit about the radio.
Yes, we're on Go Mix and all of its affiliates across almost the entire eastern North Carolina. We reach as far as New Bern, but there's a new station fixing to go on that's going to cover the Wilmington area, so we'll be almost all the way down to South Carolina. And we reach as far as Emporia, Virginia, as well as some other radio affiliates. But generally, we're on at 12:30 Sunday mornings, well, Sunday afternoon. We have a 30-minute program called Changing Our World, and if you know, you'd love to tune in if you're out of church on your way to go eat.
Do you know the frequency in this general area?
It's 88.7 in the Rocky Mount area. I know there's a different one for Roanoke Rapids.
Okay.
And, there's a number, but I know
Well, 88.7 on Sunday at 12:30, and Pastor Jones has his program on at that time also. So if you want to listen more to him, you could do that. If you want to contact him by phone or email, we've given you those methods. This is just tremendous. That, you know, a lot of people in your position are afraid to speak up.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a nice congregation, and everything's going nice and smooth, and they come every Sunday and they pray, and they come on Wednesdays and they pray, and they go to Sunday school. But you're not afraid to speak up, and I guess your congregation backs you 100% on.
They do. I pastor the best church in the world, and you know, we take much of what is in this book. I mean, I'm not afraid to preach it, and we take it to radio, and you know, we've got positive response. Of course, there's always, you know, those out there, but overall, we've had really positive response because I truly believe that Christians in America realize that we're at a crossroads in this nation, and if we don't make the right turn soon, there's not going to be any turning back. You know, there's another several chapters in the book where I deal with Islam, radical Islam, and you know what many Americans do not realize because they just don't know much about Islam. But Islam is an ideology; it's really not a religion. You know, if somebody doesn't accept Christ, then we bid them good day and move on. In Islamic countries, if you don't accept Muhammad, then they put you to death. And even, you know, there's so much when you go back and do the history on it. When I was beginning to read, Muhammad, the great prophet, you know, he married a girl when she was 6 years old. Now, you know, you can do the math if you want to. And they said, well, he didn't consummate the marriage till she was 9. But that's still child molesting to me. And, you know, I mean, that just shocked me when I read this in the history. So, you know, America needs to know that there's something knocking at our door because, you know, they do not love America. Radical Islamists are waiting for the opportunity to bring this nation to her knees. They are. And, you know, it's only by the grace and the mercy of God that we have been protected this long in those areas. And matter of fact, I'm working on a new book that really deals with radical Islam and Christianity and how they're on a collision course. And that's in the pipes right now. But, you know, it is something that Americans really need to wake up and take notice of what's going on today.
Pastor Ken Jones, Highest Praise Ministries in Louisburg, North Carolina. This is a book I urge you to read. You could get it on your Kindle or a similar device. You could get it mailed to you from Amazon.com or highestpraiseonline.org or barnesandnoble.com. But it's a book worth reading. It's telling it like it is. It's a straightforward book, and if you're tired of Amanda pandering around, read this book. Maybe come to his church and visit with him. Give him a call. Get his opinions on and he's willing to help you. I mean,
absolutely.
He's here to help. He's here to change things. There are so many things that are so simple to change if we would all work in one direction.
And you know, that's so true, Herb. The church needs to come to the place that we're a united front. It is not about the shingle that is outside the door. If we believe in the Bible as the Word of God and Jesus Christ as the Son of God, the Savior of the world, we're on the same team.
It's all the same team, just different names.
And, we've just got to come to the place that we realize that instead of competing against one another, that we become as unified as what the radical Islamists have.
This is true. This is true. Anything else you'd like to say in the last minute or so?
I'm just honored that you've allowed me the privilege to come and to be here and to share this, and I just look forward to making a difference in my world for Jesus Christ.
Well, we'd like to have you back, and we want to thank you again.
Thank you so much.
And again, you can contact Pastor by dialing 919-496-7476. You could go online to the highestpraiseonline.org, and you could contact him by email. You could read about the church. You could read a little bit about the book, and you can order the book right there. Time to Take America Back. This is the time to take America back. Thank you again.
Thank you, Herb.